It's the boys, Chris Hood.
The fellas.
Zeke Ellis.
My name's Nate Mallard.
Austin Haas. And we are your leading source for everything at NASCAR.
Yeah.
Betting, busting, banter,
Me
whatever our tagline is.
Mostly bus.
Yeah, me personally, big
maybe,
bus guy.
Maybe bus should be at the beginning of
I love
the list.
Huh? I'm muted.
But is your sound on your computer muted?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I see a
I
mute
thought I
on
heard
the
it.
screen.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of busting,
Well,
Stop.
okay,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go.
Stop.
No, he
So,
needs it.
Our goal here is to kind of just go over last week, kind of what we thought about the race, give you some broad strokes on what we think about the upcoming race. If you stay tuned on Saturday, what we're going to do is a quick 10-minute pick video where we really go into our wagering that we prefer for the weekend. However, it's hard for us to do that here today. Odds aren't out yet. Some are general odds, but until we have practice and qualifying, it's hard to put our necks out there on picks. So we're going to do our best, and please join us on Saturday. We'll release a
Companion.
quick 10-minute video, quick hits with our picks, and we'll also have a graphic for that on that'll be on our pod, on our YouTube channel,
our socials,
and all our socials.
Yeah, Haas, what are our socials? Why don't we shout that out?
we're at 4Wide Podcast on Twitter, at 4Wide Pod on Instagram.
Nice.
Cool. YouTube.
What's our YouTube looking like?
I think it's also 4Wide, but we'll post that on the Twitter when we get it up.
Yeah. We'll have some graphics
Follow
up and
the Instagram and the Twitter are going to be the main outlets. I assume
we'll
here.
link those on the pod.
Yeah,
in
if
case
you
can't find
degenerates out there really need to see our picks, that would be the first place I'd recommend going.
Well, we do have a savant on the pod here
Yeah.
with us. His name is Austin Haas.
Yeah.
The definition of idiot savant.
Yeah, the ball's rolling. Just give us a couple episodes to get everything right. But I think this is going to
And
be
after 4 or 5 episodes, when none of us have made a correct pick, we'll just never make another one.
Yeah. I mean,
We're
just
down
lost all your money.
$500 each.
take a nice graceful bow and just step out.
I got the Dell phone here though that's got the hot picks.
Seeing that, did you ever have a fancy VCR like that was like that? That was like the car.
I had the Rewinder that was a car.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so Fontana, gone forever. What I always thought was one of the coolest racetracks. I mean, I haven't been watching forever, but I mean, anywhere you can get 4Wide on the regular.
Yeah.
4Wide.
It's a good one.
Love
And now
it.
it's gone. $500-something million.
Yeah,
It's done.
They still haven't decided. I think
Making it a short track, right?
Yeah, but
Maybe.
Yeah, they're being very vague about it still. Like they're not really.
Suspiciously vague.
I
Yeah.
thought Mr. Pock. I thought he kind of hinted that was the route that they were going to go.
Well, they said that last year, and then they were like, "Well, we're gonna wait a minute," and then
They've
I
left
think they've
enough.
been talking about blowing it up for like 3-4 years now.
Yeah. But I think there's enough. They left enough space to put a short track in there. But if it happens,
I mean, if you look at it on the map, it is wild. It's just surrounded by like an industrial park and houses. So it's like I honestly forgot it was like on the fringes of like LA. Like I always forget that it was that close.
It's the only California track left at this point, right?
No, it's Riverside.
Irwindale.
Yeah.
Infineon.
Yeah, Infineon.
Well, I guess you got the Coliseum too. They're gonna take
And you
that
got
out.
Sonoma, but that's not. I mean,
I was
road
thinking
course.
Sonoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I call it Riverside, and that's not even a track anymore. But I meant Sonoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
They're gonna have to have something on the West Coast. I mean, that's their whole shtick at this point.
Well, I mean,
And they said it was packed. It
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
packed.
Great race, by the way.
It
yeah, it
was.
was actually a good race. I mean, I'm a fan of having like a little bit of late cautions, but honestly, when you get like a long green, run like that, a lot of stops that were clean, it's just a good race. Like
Great race all around.
and
Yeah,
you
it's nice when you're watching a race that they, race.
yeah,
pretty
Yeah,
good.
Drive
exactly.
a car,
Yeah.
turn left.
yeah.
The The new
The
restart
Chevys were
zone.
fast, the Fords were fast, the
Shut
Toyotas
up.
raced well.
I mean,
Haas gave me shit because I said that in the chat. I was like, all the manufacturers had a good car this week. He
Yeah.
was like, yeah, and everyone had a great time.
man, I'll tell you, man. I bet on Blaney last week, and I'm telling you, he Austin, I feel your pain because I think once Harvick retires, I think I'm going to become a Blaney fan. Saying it now on the pod.
Calling a
Wow.
shot.
But man,
Wow.
Blaney,
Yeah.
like if you look up consistent speed,
Kiss of
he's-
death, Haas. Sorry
I'm
about that,
I'm
brother.
sorry, man, you know.
Can't fuck it any worse at this point.
But I truly like Blaney. To me, I think he's going to have a good year this year. He's like he had a ridiculously fast car last year, and he's already proven the fact that he's going to have a fast car this year. And honestly, if he wouldn't have got caught up in that stupid ass wreck, I mean, he was up at
Hell,
the front,
he
like
wrecked twice in Daytona and still finished, what, 8th?
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 7th, 8th.
So I mean, I'll say ahead.
Being a Blaney fan for most of his career, I will say a pretty good bet to make is stage one Ryan Blaney
Yeah.
every week. My man loves stage one.
The
no, I think
race for the Chase Point
Speaking,
champion.
going back to Fontana, what
Yeah.
y'all think about the new restart zone?
Ooh,
that
I
caused
wanted to talk about that
caused
too.
A big wreck.
The biggest wreck in Fontana history.
yeah. So
I don't think the restart zone caused it. It's
Joey Logano.
Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
delaying his start.
well,
Doing Joey
What
things.
happened was he stepped on it and then let off because he felt his hair breeze backwards at the front row, and he hadn't felt that in so long.
He claimed in the Xfinity broadcast later that night he did not fake it. He just waited until the very end.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a bigger restart zone. That way, the leader has a little bit of pick and choose. But
Yeah.
you can. I mean, that's kind of like one of those things where, like, I think it might have been one of those unforeseen, things that because you can drag your ass all the way from until the very end of it and then get on the gas. I mean, it's your right as the leader to do that. But I mean,
Well, he didn't do anything wrong. What he
Yeah.
caught was the back of the pack in the
Well,
middle of the pack trying to time it.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and just going way too
yeah,
fast.
everyone's just so used to that.
And the spotter's not
which is
probably not. Spotter's probably basing it more off of where they were at the track than
Right.
more of what
Yeah.
was happening. But I mean, Joey.
it's
Denny said on his
kinda-
podcast that he thought Joey was fucking with people up there, getting in
probably
it and getting
was.
it out.
Yeah.
But Door Bumper Clear today said that they looked at the data and there was nothing that showed
Yeah.
on the
He said he did not
that he
break.
did not, that he didn't let off. When he got in, he got in. It was just a timing thing of when he got into it.
Yeah, because you can railroad pretty hard. I mean, like if everyone's moving behind you and you're not, I mean, you're just
he
sitting duck.
explained it on the like I said, him and Blaney were in the booth for the Xfinity race later that night, and Joey explained it really well. I mean, and it's meant to give your leader a little bit more of an advantage, which I think it did. That's not his fault that everybody else behind him fucked
Yeah.
it,
I mean, it's
anyways.
kind of a wonder that like the big restart pileups don't happen more often.
Yeah.
With like 40 cars out there.
I mean, even with those cars, even in their because I mean they don't really even in that high of a gear. I mean, if you even get remotely hard on the gas, those tires are just gone from like the
remotely
cars.
hard.
Yeah, remotely hard.
I've been
a semi. I'm more of a
remotely hard
semi
before.
restart guy.
I got a job for you.
All right, let's hear it, Chris. Your boy brings one home at the first quote unquote
Yeah,
real
yeah.
race of the season.
I mean, we all know he's got the talent. That's not a question. I actually think he showed it there more than he has any track in a while. He just drove the corners better than everybody else. But he had a really fast car too, and great start for the season. I feel like last year it was a bunch of could have beens, should have beens, bad luck here and there, leading a race easily, way out in front, and car blows up. Truex had kind of the same kind of deal last year, so to see both of them get off to a good start early, I think is well boding for their championship chances this year.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
My questions about Kyle Busch going into this year had nothing to do with him, really.
Right,
It came down to the 8 car was a rocket last year.
it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And did other teams improve? Did they lose something? Was Tyler Reddick just like the next gen, driver of the year last year? Or is it going to continue and like probably the best driver of this modern era hopping into one of the best cars in the field?
Mad too. Yeah. Kind of got a little
Yeah.
point to prove.
Yeah, he's real. He's real. Unmarketable, guys. Remember?
Yeah.
Joe
I
Gibbs-
couldn't believe
matter of
people were
fact-
surprised that he went out there and won that race.
Joe Gibbs
or
has to
won this
be.
early into the season.
Joe Gibbs has to be just punching the air right now.
So what's the line for number of races Kyle wins this year? I think it's 4.5.
Woo, that's big.
Preseason, it was 1.5. You
Yeah.
could have got in at like minus 130.
you saw that
140.
on a site?
No, that's my. I think
you're
I
just
think
making
he.
a prediction.
I think that he's gonna in that car that Tyler Reddick almost won. Same exact team. Think of how many fresh. I mean, not that Reddick's last year wasn't his rookie year. It was full time, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
I'm a big Kyle fan. I don't think he wins 5 races. I think he maybe wins 3.
yeah, that'd still be a lot compared to last year.
Yeah, three's a damn good year.
If he wins this weekend, I will gladly change my tune.
Yeah.
Which he very easily could.
Yeah, I mean Vegas. Vegas is a pretty good track for him. So I mean,
Oh, so
Right now on Caesars, the line is over under 3.5 at minus 110.
No.
So I wasn't too far.
Nah,
off.
you're
Yeah.
pretty close to the Vegas
Yeah.
boys.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's the fact is, like he can just drive anything. I mean, Kyle Busch is a fucking wheel man. Like at the end of the day, I mean, he just got. I think Joe Gibbs just gave up on him, honestly.
yeah, I didn't listen to Denny's podcast, but I think I saw where Denny basically came out and said, "Look, JGR tried to re-sign him. They tried their best. I don't think Kyle wanted to stay. I think he
Yeah.
wanted to do something different, and it's looking like that's going to pay off. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like something was bubbling. Y'all remember when he retired from the Xfinity series?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that was his call.
Now he's back.
Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't feel like running those races for Joe. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
But it's weird though because he was so dominant in 18 in Joe Gibbs stuff. So it's like, was it just his attitude? Was he just
Probably a culmination of everything.
yeah
That and Eminem's leaving.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
had
You
to
got a
be
bad
piece of it.
attitude. You start thinking that maybe they're giving you the shit end of the car for the team.
Yeah.
That starts wearing on you.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure.
who had the good car last year? Denny. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't feel like
Joey.
any of the.
I mean, that's
Joey
like,
won-
I mean,
Bell.
excuse me.
I mean, like
Christopher Bell. Yeah.
like it's like you being at a job, you're gonna quit, and it's about a month away, and you're like, you're just
Fuck
like,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
it's that's how I kind of felt about last
Quiet
year. Was.
quit.
Yeah, I mean, like
That's not my job.
yeah, because I mean, he won Bristol Dirt last year, right?
That was the only win.
And
Yeah, and,
and,
it was
and
kind
you
of a
could-
lucky win.
yeah, I
too.
mean, like the post race interview, I remember he was just like, "All right, I'm just going home. He's like, I shouldn't have even won this. Whatever, I'm out. This shit sucks. Who cares?" He just
Yeah.
he just left.
Speaking of Fontana, hope everyone stayed up and watched the Xfinity race because it was incredible.
You mean the premier racing series of the sport?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know how I feel about that. It's always more exciting, better driving.
Yeah,
It's fun to watch a young up and coming kid try to make it. But yeah, lots of cautions. I think they were at 7 or 10 cautions in stage 2. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great race. Good
Barry was out there wrecking everybody.
Josh Berry was
Yeah.
bumping everybody. Not Cole Custer,
Bull
Sheldon
Buster.
Creed, aka George
The
Santos,
smiling nerd.
Had a-
George Santos himself.
had an incredible save after Josh Berry just straight up dumped him for no reason.
it wouldn't surprise me honestly if he was actually a race car driver.
Santos?
Sheldon?
Santos.
What if that's the
No,
whole thing?
Santos.
It looks exactly the,
whole
same.
he lies about everything.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
whole lie is that he's actually secretly
Yeah.
not a drag queen, but
Yeah.
is secretly a race
I
car
was
driver.
yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. I was like,
I already ran a few races in Formula 3.
Formula
so-
3.
Let me hit that bad boy, Nick.
What do you think?
This
You
segment
think,
is sponsored by Zen.
and T.
Think you could get Sheldon to put on some drag down in Columbia? For a little show?
bet he would.
Perchance.
I'm sure he
Perchance. But yeah, I think Kyle Busch is gonna have a pretty good year, man.
Obviously.
I think
Oh, that's stepping out on a limb there, but
yeah, but no, I mean I think
I don't know, man. I when you're talking about Kyle Busch, it's just like the man breaks both his legs, comes back, wins a championship. I mean, he does.
Yeah.
If he wants to, he's gonna fucking do it.
I mean,
I don't.
I'm not a fan of his, but again, you got to just. I mean, like I think he's probably the best wheelman in NASCAR. Like, I mean, because he can just drive anything. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like Tony Stewart in the way that like that dude can drive anything.
Yeah.
I tell you what else he's got going for him, and I say this with a grain of salt because he is a extremely weird dude. I think he's more likable now than he's ever been. I noticed he got more cheers in the stands than boos this time for the first time maybe ever. Even in his post-race interview, they were asking him questions like, it seemed like you were more cheered for ever than in the past. And he's like, yeah, Rowdy Nation shows up, but I think it's just the whole thing that he's been through it's made him more likable.
Yeah. I feel like this has been said for probably the last 10 to maybe 15 years, but has Kyle changed? Is Kyle mature now?
Yeah, he's matured a little bit,
Yeah.
I think. Look at Kurt, went from
being a giant dickhead to
douchiest doucher.
Kurt was a pretty big douche.
Yeah, now he's probably the most likable guy in the sport.
Yeah.
One of them.
But I mean, truly a polarizing individual. But yeah. So I mean, I and then rolling into that, I think I think Harvick's gonna have a good year too. I think he really obviously this is his last year and everything, so he doesn't give a shit. He's for the points right now, I think.
Yeah, he's running up at the
he's
front
had-
pretty
running
much
up
every
front.
race.
Daytona, he ran up front for a while, and then of course, got shuffled back and in that crash and everything. And then I think he finished.
I'll tell you.
He finished. I think top 5.
He finished
Yeah, he
fifth.
finished fifth.
Yeah. So
But when is
4, 5, 5.
I feel like we haven't seen in the last 4 years a race where Harvick was just
dominant
out front the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
Since 20, it hadn't happened since
Yeah.
him and
Yeah.
Denny just won every race.
yeah,
Yeah.
his 2 wins last year were in Michigan, which was a
Do you
strategy.
think
That's
was that a Ford body thing? Was that a Mustang thing?
No, that was just him having a good pit strategy. That's all I
Yeah,
read.
he won that race off pit, and then he won a
He won
playoff race.
Michigan
Yeah.
and Richmond back.
Yeah, Richmond. And Richmond, I think, was a bit more of him just driving because he's always done pretty decent at that track, I believe. But
That's true.
His big one's coming up, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, but that's in 2 weeks. I
2
believe?
weeks,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but I picked in Rich's pool. I picked Bush to win last Sunday.
I saw that. And you're up there in the top 15.
So
right now, too.
I got a little lucky with that.
You'd
Because
probably be top 5 going into next week.
So-
I somehow picked William Byron to win last week. I don't know where I got that from, but
I mean,
that
dude.
fucked me bad.
I don't know.
My 2 picks were Kyle Larson and Truex, who were both out of the
Truex
race
didn't-
within the first
No,
stage.
Truex finished
I know,
eighth.
no,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
got that penalty
yeah,
and went 2 laps
Yeah, let's
down.
talk about the penalty shit. So I mean, as much as my driver having to go 2 laps down just shows how fast this fucking car was to come back and finish 8th. But
Didn't Kyle Busch have 2?
No, he had 2 speeding.
he had 2 speeding
on pit
penalties,
roads.
but Truex had the full.
Yeah,
he
he got
lost the
black
wheel.
flag.
He lost the wheel, and this year the penalty is now what? Instead of crew
chief being suspended for 3 races.
Was it
2
4?
team members are suspended from his
But last year it was
next week's race.
4 weeks, right, for the crew chief?
I think it was
to be out?
2.
Yeah.
Are you sure it was 4?
I think it was
Something like that.
4.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Anyway,
4
but-
sounds right.
Yeah, but which is crazy.
yeah.
So I mean, I think this is a better.
Considering
better
how many
penalty.
times it happened, it's
right,
crazy.
and it obviously uncontrolled tire on a racetrack is probably the most dangerous
For sure,
thing
for sure.
Yeah.
for
I mean, that's a weapon.
spectators and everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's fair as much as it sucks. I mean, that's enough to be like, they've obviously figured it out. That was the only one we saw yesterday. We didn't see any at Daytona that came off a car on the track, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
they made it such a stiff penalty because they
Yeah.
really needed to get it under control.
Right.
However, you're switching from 5 lugs to 1, it's going to happen, and whatever.
Speaking
They like you said, they seem to
They
have
had to
under
figure it
control.
out. Yeah, and I
Speaking
think
of,
they did.
of tires, do you think we're going to have as many weird flats as we did last year? Because last
No,
year,
I
Appears
think
to be
they,
no
they,
longer
they
the
figured
case.
it out halfway
Yeah.
through the season. Yeah, last year I figured.
because last year, combined with the wheel losses, like you said, but last year we all knew it was just like a hilarious
crapshoot.
amount of you
Yeah.
could just
Talking about tires, Denny said they were talking about maybe testing
Grooved.
the grooved
I saw that.
tire.
to make it more
So
chaotic.
instead of increasing horsepower, Danny thinks that you will never go back to
Well,
900.
yeah, because of cost cutting, right?
Yeah.
They don't want the teams to have to build engines on the brink of blowing up, right? They want to have equipment they can use and barrier of entry to bring more teams in to be lower. But so that would do that, right? If you stomp on that at 600 horsepower, you fucking lose it. But,
I mean, I
They'll
don't know.
never add horsepower, but they'll keep taking grip away.
Right.
as
Right.
much
Yeah,
as they
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Have y'all seen the new rule changes for the wet weather package?
No.
So everywhere that they have the
Yes, I
weather
did see that,
package,
actually.
all tracks under mile, except for like Dover and Bristol and all road courses, they're making changes. They're lowering the spoiler to only 2 inches. They're changing the underbody. I forget whatever the
I can pull it
diffuser.
up.
Chris,
Supposedly
your
they're going to have
speakers on your
like
computer real
30% less aero
They are
or
muted.
whatever, because short tracks and
Mine's muted.
road courses last year were
It's muted.
dog.
Yeah,
I see a mute on the.
no,
I
no,
don't-
I mean your speakers on your computer are playing Haas out.
yeah. I don't.
I have it muted there.
Yeah, I don't.
speakers
I don't
are
have
on
the.
zero.
Okay, there we go.
I don't remember any like notable road courses last year that stuck out to me. They all just were kind of just like.
I only remember
snooze fest.
Indy from the
Yeah, I mean that one
shithouse
because
turn
it
one.
just kind of like stood out. But I mean, yeah, I mean I don't know. It's whatever. I mean I don't really I like road courses, but I don't think they should have stages. Or if they do have stages, it's like it's a stage.
Are they
but
going to no stages this year?
I don't. But what
They're keeping the stages. They're not throwing the yellow.
that's what I was going to say.
They're
I don't mind if
points
it's that.
for the lap.
If
but
it's that, that's understandable. But
So
I
no
mean,
caution.
riot road courses.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Caution.
Which is good because I mean, I like the idea of stacking them up, but at like a road course, it's just a whole different type of racing. Like there's just different. I mean, you get like it's just a much more like I guess technical.
I think it'll be fun to finally watch some pit strategy involved, which
Which was always the best part of the road.
yeah,
Yeah.
which they don't really do it at all anymore. It's all to the stage break.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Let's talk about the fun stuff. Let's get to the money. Let's talk about next week.
Yep.
What
All
are we looking at?
So next week is Las Vegas.
big names in the lower series this week.
Yeah,
One
right off the
huge-
rip, we should start with where you were going. Kyle is racing all three trucks, Xfinity and Cup. So
Nice.
What's that parlay pay?
I looked it up earlier. All right, so he's plus 150 for trucks, plus 180 for Xfinity.
How
Plus
was
six,
he plus 150 for trucks? Like, do they
I
not?
know.
Is it because it's the first time he's driving the new Chevy trucks?
first KBM Chevy
Yeah.
truck?
Okay.
So who knows how that's going
Whatever.
to be? I still
Whatever,
think
he's
he's
gonna
by
rip
far
ass
the best
out
driver in the truck
96
series.
GMC
That
Sierra.
hammer
out there.
that, dude. Even without the parlay.
So the only other two big drivers in it are John Hunter's racing in it, and Ross
Chastain's
Chastain
in
is
it.
racing in
Yeah.
it. But
Ross gets brain.
yeah,
Middleman.
we're gonna try to steer away from trucks on here for the most part.
I think if it's like a big name, like you said, is in it.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean
worth
we
some-
have our truck guy that we all love. Shouts out Nicky Sanchez and
yeah,
Gito.
really. Come on the podcast.
Please, Nick, join us.
Sanchez.
Get on here, coward.
He'll come. What else is he doing?
Don't come.
But yeah, I mean, a clean sweep. Kyle is not paying as well as you would think it would.
Really.
Well,
It's
the-
the Kyle Sweet parlay. I think it said it was 45-1.
Okay, then mine
That's
must
pretty
not
good.
have been
I sent it
working.
to you on a screenshot.
yeah,
Yeah.
plus 2,700 or something, right?
Okay, and that's not what
It
mine was
plus
coming up as.
45-60, I believe.
That,
Yeah.
that would honestly be
45
worth.
to 1.
To me, that would be worth putting in just a
But-
bet just to
but-
hit it. I mean, that's.
But
yeah.
Kyle's only won a cup race in Vegas in the last 10 years in 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I went back and looked. He was in second or third in the first race, and in the top 5 in the second race as well. So
I think the spring race, it was him and Truex were good.
Yeah.
And then something happened to him, and Larson and Bowman got up there.
Larson and the two Hendricks
Bowman
finished
ended up
1-2. I looked at laps led though. They did not lead many laps at all. So I think you're right. I think they came on late. You know how Bowman likes to steal a race at the end.
Well,
Pretty sure that's what happened.
Where I'm leaning this weekend for the Cup race is all the cursed lads.
Okay.
I'm big on Martin Truex this week.
Me too.
I'm big on Chastain, man.
Yeah.
Ross Chastain all day.
Ross will be in there. I'm feeling some Blaney. Another cursed lad.
Me too,
Well,
man.
those are like the top 5 favorites right now. So.
Let me throw out this. Looking at average finish in the last 10 years at Vegas, who has something to prove because of his new teammate is Austin Dillon, and he's matched
That
up with
was my next boy.
Yeah, I think Austin Dillon could pull out a top 10, and he's looking good right now. And his matchup is against Suarez.
Whoops.
And
Sorry, just had a Sanchez on the brain.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
And Sanchez is actually favored in that matchup, and Sanchez has never done well. Suarez, Jesus, y'all got me all.
I passed that.
He
I
ran well stage 1 and 2 last year in both races, but his finish was not there. He finished like 16th and like 20th or something.
Dude, Chastain finished.
But he was like top 5.
Yes,
Chastain finished like
top
3rd
three.
and 2nd the
Yeah.
last 2
Yeah.
times he's
Yeah.
raced there, and led the most laps both races.
Yeah.
I think he is your
Austin
play.
Dillon,
He's been
my
consistent
nemesis.
this year. Yeah, you do not like him.
I do not like him. However, his best track.
yeah. I mean,
in the whole series is Las Vegas.
There you go.
Whatever he gets into, he runs well.
Good sneaky sleeper pick. Well, I guess
Yeah.
he's not a sleeper, but
He's definitely a top 10 pick. He's probably a top 5 pick too. I don't see him beating all the heavy hitters. But
right.
my sneaky one. I mean,
sprinkle.
me and Chris have done this, but I really think if you can get top 20, I think Ty Dillon can definitely get in the top 20 race. I'm seeing him maybe hover around like 18th. I don't know.
Hate Todd
In
Dillon.
the second Spire car,
Yeah, Ty Dillon
his car
is.
sucks
He's
this
trash
year,
now,
bro.
dude.
Well, we'll see.
If anything, Suarez is moved up a rung out of
Who took
that
his
matchup.
car?
Who?
Who took Ty Dillon's car this year?
that he was.
Gregson.
Yeah, Gregson,
Yeah.
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 Because the number changed too, right, Austin? Am I wrong?
It's still
Okay.
42.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was 45, but that's the other car.
Speaking of 40 cars, what about Mr. Jones? When's he going to bust out? Because I feel like he's going to
I don't
bust
know.
this season.
He's fast. I mean, but I don't know.
On the
Again,
edge.
to me, all the Fords are pretty damn quick. I think. I don't know. I mean, I think in Rich's pool, I got 22 bringing this home. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Logano's obviously the favorite.
Yeah, he
So-
won there in the playoffs, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So he's
He's won, I think he's won the most there of any active driver
Yeah.
currently right now.
it's hard to bet on him.
Yeah.
though.
I left all my
Can't do it.
I left all my betting stuff.
Yeah,
at the
Logano has
house.
3 wins in the last
Yeah.
10 years. And you know who else does? Mr. Kozlowski.
Yeah. So.
Kez, yeah, and he's been good this year. He's been wrecked in both races at the end, but he has been up there. Kez has.
Yeah.
So is Busher, really.
Yeah, Busher to me is actually having a pretty good year. I think he's definitely shown.
For RFK
Is
to
that new
absolutely suck at the Clash
Yeah.
both years in a row, they sure do seem to figure it out later.
Yeah, he.
This race is going to be the test for that team. Brad does well on these like high wear tracks, like Fontana last week. He ended up 7th after a crazy day. He did well at Darlington last year, high wear track. Homestead, he did well, high wear track. Vegas is pretty smooth. It's not going to be that rough on the tires. It's going to come down to more of a speed thing. So
Yeah, and who's got the fastest car? Ryan fucking Blaney.
There's your expert analysis from the Savant.
But
Fade Keselowski, he says.
I
Yeah.
mean, look at a practice time.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see which
the other
side of
thing
the
I wanna
sheet he's
talk
going
yeah,
to be
once we
In
get
fact,
this,
we're going to actually see some practice
Yeah.
this week.
but
it's gonna be
as
big.
long as it doesn't
No, it's
decide to
snowing in Vegas.
have a
No,
hurricane.
No, I had that in my notes of
Strikes
like, are we
again.
going to have to continue with the blizzard talk in Vegas? But it looks like it's going to be like 60 and sunny this weekend out there.
But Austin, I'm with you, man. I think really speed, like to me, like this track. Obviously, all the copycat tracks like it, but whoever just has the fastest damn car, like especially here in Vegas, I think
Wow,
just has it.
what a novel concept.
No, I don't mean like just. I mean like just the highest like speed. I mean like it's
Whoever
just,
has the fastest car is going to win. You heard it here first.
shut up. You know what
well,
I mean.
talking about fast cars, and what about? So we know Joey is a favorite. We're
Yeah.
thinking Kyle's probably going to run well.
I think Kyle is the overall favorite.
He
Him
is
and
right
Joey
now.
are like real close.
Yeah.
to
Larson
it.
and
Yeah.
Bush are like plus 600 each. They're both the co-favorite for the weekend.
Yeah, and I think, if you're looking for decent value, I think Truex was plus 900 last night. That's not a bad get, but I think what if we see a repeat of 2017, Joey acting like Joey up there with Kyle Busch?
That's what scares me.
That'll be the real test of, is this a new Kyle? I would love to see a punch in the hair plugs on pit road after this race.
If those two are 1 and 2, the person third is going to win because they're
Chastain.
Yeah, that's my exact. I told you, Kyle and Ross 1-2.
Yeah, so whoever's like right behind those two, if they're like 1 and 2, they're gonna win because those two are not gonna want to race, nicely on the last lap.
One more sleeper guy I'm looking at in the top 10 range, in matchups, maybe some groups, is Cindric.
Mm-hmm.
Penske was really fast last year in the fall race, including Austin Cindric. So that's you can get pretty good value on him.
He seems to be getting his stuff together as well. Like he seems to be more consistent of a driver this year.
Yeah,
he's had some wrecks, I believe, but
it's hard to trust a race car driver over 6 feet tall, though.
Yeah, and and me personally, I wouldn't mind if he won just to see the Rob Dubard's
group. Going to switch back to Cinder.
No, he's full rowdy now.
Has he now gone full rowdy?
Yeah, he's full rowdy.
Well,
you didn't notice his
Rowdy Nation is not accepting visas anymore.
Did you not notice the 3 a.m. Facebook cover? Changed to the new 8 car.
Yeah,
I asked him to do a segment for us. We wanted to finish off this pod with a nice, funny, inebriated Rob voicemail.
Yeah, Rob
Mad Max style.
Rob asking questions.
Yeah, and instead he misunderstood the assignment. Instead, I got a video of him analyzing Kyle Busch's win and how great it was, and I was like, okay, well, not what we were looking for, but thanks for that insight, Rob. We were all excited for Kyle, for sure. Gonna need you to pound a few Yetis and put a Kopi in and give us a late 3 a.m. voicemail.
Real take.
Yeah, a real ass Rob Bar. A real ass Rob.
Where'd all the horsepower go?
Yeah.
Why are the trucks faster than the Cup car?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you,
Rob, answer me that.
why don't the cars look like this anymore?
Where's
That's
Dale?
all I want to know.
Where's Dale?
Why is the number off the damn door?
Yeah.
Why can't you finish first without a hood on your
Hey,
car
man.
anymore?
I gotta ask y'all, what's up with this Hans device?
That one was
Is that not
fantastic.
supposed to stop his neck from doing that?
And we're like, yeah, Dubard, 20 years ago that would have killed him. Because
It's about the chin, not the neck. You want your neck to move or else it will snap in place.
What else did he go off on the blurred out driver dash?
No, yeah, we should talk about that.
But
Looks like they figured that out.
Yeah, that's back now, so that's cool. But I mean,
They just had to reposition the camera. I mean, you can't be seeing other guys.
So is that the
engine
pin?
tips.
Is that the pin camera in the helmet that they're
Yeah.
using? Okay.
yeah, dude, Larry Mack brought it out. That thing is fucking small. It's like
Yeah, I saw it.
it's so damn small.
He brought it out
Minuscule.
and it was small.
Damn, why are you exposing Larry Mack like that, dog?
Larry Mack said, "I'm gonna drop this out real quick. See how y'all
America's
see it."
crew chief,
Yeah.
America's smallest
Yeah.
penis.
Well, again, Austin said dream blunt rotation. Larry Mack is 100% in that.
Put him in
He
there.
could tell some stories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so
We'll be back Saturday with a shorter, more to the point on the betting podcast. I think is what we agreed on. Right?
I'll probably get into. There's some really good Xfinity
Yeah.
ones that I really like, but I'm not going to get into those here. I'm not going to follow
Kyle
up
Busch
with that.
winning the truck race is going to be parlayed with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think that's the one.
that's the
is-
move.
He's most likely to win.
Pete.
He can win all three for sure.
All right. Well, I mean, we want to. Any parting words from you guys? I mean, I think this year I'm actually excited this year. Like last year, I was kind of like, whatever, we'll see. But this year seems like it's still decently good cars. Like there's good parity. It seems like so far again this year. Like we've. It seems
Chevys are good. The Fords are good. Toyotas are good.
Well, it's a spec car. I mean, they're all gonna be the same fucking thing. I mean, up to it. Like a degree, but-
we haven't seen a manufacturer kind of take off with it.
Yeah.
which
God,
is good.
wouldn't-
Have you won both races?
Yeah.
So they're on a hot streak, but I think a Toyota I think a Toyota might take it this week too. I've got 22, but I mean I think a Toyota personally manufacturer takes it this weekend.
Yeah. This week's is going to be an indicator for a lot for this season,
Yeah.
or at least the early part of
Because
this season. At least.
Las Vegas is like kind of a very vanilla track, so like there's going to be a lot of just general stuff that gets figured out here. So, but all right, well,
Where are we at on time?
We're right over 30 minutes.
All right.
All right, let me quickly give a real brief shout out to my buddy Matt Watkins, who kind of helped us with logistics on this, and hopefully you're going to have a partnership with them and their pod. So if you're looking for something similar in regards of this for an F1 platform, Slipstream podcast is probably your way to go. They're great. Check them out. We hope you all enjoyed the first episode. We will be back Saturday with our detailed picks, and subscribe and hit the like, I guess. Isn't that the cliche thing to say?
Comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so
we'll be active on social too. If you have questions, feel free to ask.
Yep.
It is on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter and Insta, that's where the picks will be.
we're all
on
nerds.
Saturday.
We're all nerds, so
Hey.
we'll be here.
Good job, fellas. It took a second, but we figured it out. This
Yeah.
looks
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
think this works. So hopefully
Yeah.
everybody enjoys it.
Yep.
We
I
did.
mean, so we'll see y'all next
See
week.
you at Vegas.
See you Saturday.
Adios.